Okay, so the biomedical model of health. Now, a long time ago, before technology and science, when things were dark and ignorant and superstition reigned. I'm not talking about so long ago that they weren't having the smartphones, or in fact, that there were no mobile phones at all. We're talking a long time ago. We're talking about when people believed the world was flat rather than round, that they believed in spirits and living in nature, and superstition dominated the organization of not only healthcare provision, but also of government, etc. The period called the Enlightenment, and think of this as a light shining in the darkness, introduced the idea of rational thought that led to the scientific revolution. This is, if you like, the start of modernism or modernity, referring back to what postmodernists look at. And during this time, the scientific approach became to dominate the way in which Western thought developed. This adoption of observation and a scientific rational method led to measurements and observations, evidence-based approach to the body. This saw the body like disease and causes of illness and infection to be like a part of the body malfunctioning. This leads to the idea of the body as kind of some metaphor for a machine. So if there's something wrong, like a car, you would take it to the mechanic. And if you like, medicine or doctors become like mechanics who restore the body to factory settings, that is, replace parts, fix parts. And there's this idea of an optimum or way things should be. The body and mind were seen as distinct and separate. This is what they called the mind-body divide. And the body itself was examined in isolation, and its working component parts, following the machine metaphor, were identified and seen how they worked. Disease was seen as being caused by a single point of infection or point of contact, and that the point of infection should be isolated and treated separately. This is Pasteur and Koch, who were famously invented germ theory or discovered germ theory, which is very much that the causation can be identified, targeted singularly, and dealt with in this way. This is very much the biomedical model of isolated. We're used to being in isolation, aren't we? Isolated and dealt with as an individual and independent entity. This in itself led to this idea of the biomedical or mechanical approach, led to specialisms within the medical profession. Here we have a pediatrician. Clearly, there are very many different slices and very different specialisms which focus on different aspects of medicine or different aspects of the body or different aspects of treatment. This approach, as the postmodernists would argue, is like religion, in that it denies all other ways to God or other ways of treatment. And implicit in it is the idea of rejection, not only of alternative therapies, but other ways of thinking about illness, traditional ways, Chinese medicine, etc., etc.